So, this is my garden, and I want to share with you. There's a few plants that I would just not be growing again, and I don't think they're worth it because of the time, effort, and space ratio. Starting out with corn, right? I mean, cool. You get decent corn, right? So each about stalk is getting about 3, 4, 5 corns. And if you plant them from seed or you get them in the little bulk packs, which was like $2 at Home Depot, cool. I don't particularly think that they are worth it in the aspect of the water that goes into them, the fertilizer that goes into them, and the production. Corn locally is like 50 cents, for the ear. So what they call it, the chucks, the ears. And you can get them at Walmart, you can get them at Farmer's Market, and they remain somewhere around that price everywhere. Yeah, you're growing it yourself, it's organic, it's cool, you can do things with it. But in reality, I don't think that is worth it. And I will not be dedicating the amount of water and space that it takes to grow corn when I can grow other herbs, like medicinal herbs and stuff like that, and a tomato. Like, they take less water. Next one, you guessed it, butternut squash. So we got one there, and there's another one dangling here somewhere, and they're growing well. Like, they store great. Like, you put them in, you can just leave them in the counter, you can put them in the fridge, and they'll be good for months, right? But one plant, right, is yielding me about 2, 3, maybe 4 butternut squashes. Once again, cool if you like butternut squash, but in reality, they're not expensive. Neither are zucchini, but for the amount of water that's going into that individual plant, I'd rather get a cucumber plant or a zucchini plant because that will be much more food in volume, right? A zucchini or cucumber plant, you will have a cucumber and a zucchini at least once a day, if not 2 every other day. Here's a zucchini plant. You can tell that there's one right there and 2, 3 more right there growing, and that is daily, right? Compared to 2, 3 butternut squashes. And one thing that a lot of people don't realize when they're starting out gardening is that the longer anything, fruit, vegetable, is on a vine or the plant, you are risking the exposure for something to snack on your crops. These butternut squashes have been growing for maybe 2 months or so, month maybe. Zucchinis every day. I'm surprised. A few of them have actually gotten snacked on, but obviously, just my personal preference. I'll do another one, and this is going to become controversial for some people, but this is more like a tree. The regarding citrus, right? Lemon trees, like actual just lemon, like the Eureka, Mayer, etc. I don't think they're worth it. When there's other lemons that exist, like this one looks a little sad, but pink lemonade lemons, yuzus, etc. Same thing with, I don't think it's worth growing the Buddha's hand lemon. I'm selling some of those trees too because I just don't think that it gets used as much culinary wise. Plus, there's other factions or cultivars of lemons, if you will, that are much more flavorful and more productive than the stereotypical Mayer and Eureka lemon, even the improved ones. If I want a bunch of seeds in a lemon, I'm going to go with a yuzu, and yuzu is much better. And don't forget the Buddha's hand, right, which is the citron that just looks like that. Cool to have like a novelty item, but in reality, you are not an alcoholic enough to make drinks with them all the time. And you can only use lemon zest for so many things. I'd much rather grow a lime, and you can use lime just very interchangeably with lemon to use, and you can just have a yuzu or a pink lemonade, which is the fruit is just sweet right off the vine. You don't have to let them age, you don't have to let them do anything. This is a semi-unpopular one, but this one is one of the few ones that I believe are worth it, is dragon fruit. They take a lot of space, and they get unruly. You start seeing them, right? This is the only reason I have that is because it's the yellow kind, and the yellow kind is absolutely delicious, right? And one is fine. One is cool. But multiple ones, to have a steady supply of dragon fruit, I don't think it's worth it to grow it yourself. The one plus size is that if you do have room to grow them, you barely have to water them, if any, like at all. In full sun. There's no sun, it's just overcast today, but and I would never, I don't even purchase the white dragon fruit. I like the red one, and that is really it. Another one what I particularly wouldn't grow is broccoli, and this is mostly because everything likes to eat broccoli. Well, there's a broccoli plant right there and there. It's supposed to look like that, but you can see that they are both starting to look like very similar. The cool part is that you can actually eat the leaves, and the leaves taste just like broccoli, and they're just as healthy as well. But um, you can see that everything, and their mother, cousins and brothers, will try to eat your broccoli. I don't particularly think it's worth the stress, but it's cool. It's a sacrificial plant, and if you grow it as an auxiliary plant, that works great as well. Same the scale, cilantro and other herbs, but I grow those herbs as sacrificial. Same thing with eggplant, to make sure that everything eats that and not the things that I want to keep, like bell peppers. I do have very big bush pepper plants, right? But I don't grow bell peppers. I think that they are, like I said earlier, they spend too much time on the vine. So a pepper will go from green to yellow to orange, then red. By that time, right? That time that has been elapsed, hopefully a bird hasn't picked it off, or a rat, or a worm, or a caterpillar, or a moth. So I kind of just focus growing on small, flavorful peppers. It's a Peruvian variety, right? Is the amarillo. It's just a yellow pepper. It's less spicy than a jalapeno, and tastes much better, much fruity, and more smoky, right? These grow. The bugs don't seem to really care for them. You can also companion plant growing other fragrant stuff around, like the broccoli, so you can have your peppers, and they dry well. But a bell pepper, I just don't think it's particularly worth growing. I will gladly pay somebody 50 cents for their pepper, like I don't think the month or 2-3 months that it takes from them to turn green to orange to red is worth it. And I don't like green peppers, so red it is, and they don't like to grow too well. I don't think it's worth it to grow. It's my little ugly tomato plant, but as of lately, I actually started growing back cherry tomatoes, right? There's several cultivars that are just not it. This one grew from seed, something weird. It's sweet, has kind of like a bit of a mild spice to it. It works great. But most cherry tomatoes, in my opinion, unless they're like a clumping type like that, I don't think they're worth their grow, because the plant gets absolutely unwieldy. You end up with blossom and rot because of the fact that they like to just continue eating. You can plant them along with beans, right? So they can get the nitrogen, etc. But they're just a very ferocious plant that need a lot of maintenance and attract bugs that are going to end up eating the tomatoes and everything else. So this is a good cultivar tomato. I actually just focus on growing bigger tomatoes, the Italian type, or the heirloom types, the purple heart one, or purple Cherokee purple one. Yeah, that one's cool. Here's some growing. I'm sure there's one in the midst there, but this is all subjective, right? You don't have to agree with me. This is just what works in my climate. I'm sure that somebody in the northern states is like, I don't think it's worth it to grow citrus because citrus dies. Same way that I don't think it's worth to grow XYZ because it's not convenient to me or profitable. Anyways, I hope you liked this video and got a nice little garden tour. Let me know what you think about what crops you think are actually worth it versus not worth it.